Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, and welcome to TVJP Sim Racing. We're new to the world of broadcasting on Twitch and YouTube, so I thought I'd give you an update of who we are and some of the things that we actually do. So I've been racing or sim racing for 4 years now. I've moved from console over onto PC in May 2022. And we began our career on Assetto Corsa, and the first league that we ran with Assetto Corsa, we ran the Formula E's, and this is a little bit of footage of my first race at Watkins Glen in a practice race against AI, trying to come to terms with an open wheel vehicle and an electric vehicle, both of which I hadn't spent much time driving. And if anyone's got a Assetto Corsa, these things are absolutely a bucket load of fun to have a crack at. The download's available from Race Department, and they're the funkiest things to drive and get your head around. There's not much you can do in the way of setup. Let me see if I can get that off the screen. There we go. There is a power boost battery button that you can use to give you an overtake. They are notorious for locking up their brakes and flat spots on their tyres, and that does make these things exceptionally uncomfortable to drive. So we came out of the box running in a league on PC. I think there was 22 of us running around the tracks, and these things have an absolute blast of a time. I did not do so well, that's for sure. So TVJP Sim Racing, May 2022. It came about through a family discussion when my family agreed to make the transition from console over to PC. So the T is for myself, Tim. I predominantly do the majority of the driving. The V is our team principal, that's my wife, Vicky. She supports us in everything we do and allows me to sit here on hours at a time to stare at the screen. The J is our 9-year-old son, Jack. Jack is our chief engineer. He comes in and checks in to report on where I'm driving and how I'm travelling in the races. He also helps me with some of the setups and some of the graphics that we are now using for our streams. Let's just say, while I started out reasonably well in this race, it didn't end that way, sadly. So we might leave it there before we come crashing down. And we transitioned, if I can get that back, we transitioned from the Formula E's over to the V8 supercars. And I can tell you, these things were an absolute barrel laugh. It was not my cup of tea. I really struggled to find a setup for these vehicles. I struggled to find any pace in these vehicles, but I had an absolute blast while cruising around. So here we got the 2015 Falcon. Let's just see if I've got a setup, which I have. Load this up. And again, a Assetto Corsa Competitor Zone with all the abilities to download and add on through Race Department. You can have an absolute blast. So we're running around here around Winton, and I'll see if I can keep it on the track. And this car is an absolute handful around the tight winding circuit at Winton, and getting the car to rotate was always my biggest challenge, and to turn into the corners without blasting it off the track or doing 360s. See how we go. Try and keep some heat into these tyres. So you can see they're struggling with the understeer. And I've got to take my hat off to anyone who can drive these with any sort of pace. it's a whole mission in itself just to work out how to set these up, how to get them to rotate and turn, and getting to stop without constantly locking up the front or rear brakes. The V8 supercars now moving over to Gen 3 this year with the Fords and Chevys, the Camaro and the Ford Mustang. These things are now cult classics. Everyone's hanging out for the new Gen 3s to make it into sim racing, to try them. Look, there's some rotation for you. A lot of short shifting and pedal control to get these cars. Oh, not too bad through there. That feels a bit better. Always struggle with this corner. No, lose it. So as you can see, I was never very successful with the V8 supercars. I never actually did a full league with these. I think I did 2 or 3 practice races with the guys, and I was so far off the pace and a bit of a menace, I never committed with the league. But for anyone who's got a Assetto Corsa, again, these cars are an absolute bucket load of fun. Get your mates together and do some laps, or AK Racing. You can find through supported league through Shakedown, I believe they're affiliated with. They run a full series with the V8 supercars every year on Assetto Corsa. I believe all the downloads, the tracks and all the cars are available download packs through their Discord. Do one more lap, see if I can actually put one together here. A little bit cautious coming into turn 1. Nah, too hard on the brakes. So that was our transition through Assetto Corsa. Let's just pop out of that. For there we transitioned up into Assetto Corsa Competizione. I'll see, I think I've got a video of that somewhere here. I think we did some practice for Spa. We were running the Audi R8 Evo 2. Attempting to do an enduro for Spa. We managed to get into the high 219s. I think our average qualifying time was a 220.5. Unfortunately, I then had troubles. I tore a ligament in my knee, and I've been unsuccessful to do much racing since then. But what we have done is we've joined the guys with Gravel Trap Legends, and we're now broadcasting every Monday night as they run their BMW, currently running the BMW M1 I'm a Pro series. And I think we've got a video, so we've got a video here of a track lap going around Monaco. So let's jump on and do a track around Monaco. This was round 1 for Gravel Trap Legends BMW M1 I'm a Pro series. We're about to take you for a lap around Monaco. Coming around turn 19 onto the start-finish line. Across the start-finish line, coming up to Sampero is the first corner. There are no track limits where I can cut the inside here. It will show me a limit here. Coming up through Beau Rouge. Remember to clutch. Round Massenet, back into Casino, down the hill, round through Maribor. This is the Grand Hotel Hairpin. Portio or Portier. through the tunnel. Coming down to the chicane, which we can straight cut during the race. Hard on the brakes into Tabac. Louis Chiron, past the swimming pool. Again, able to cut. And around through Ricase, back up to turn 19, and that will finish a lap around the street circuits of Monaco. You take full appreciation for the burnt out clutch by the end of that lap where I've ground 3 or 4 gears. So that's a little bit about TVJP sim racing. The P finally is our mascot. That's our pet King Charles Cavalier Poppy. And TVJP sim racing, we're broadcasting live on Monday nights with Gravel Trap Legends, their BMW M1 I'm a Pro. We are a family outfit. We all have a little bit to say in the operations. Hopefully one day we'll get to see some footage of my wife driving. It is, believe me, quite entertaining. But occasionally she does jump on and do a few laps around a few of the tracks. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do like what you see, then please follow us on Twitch, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We'll be doing a myriad of formats. We'll be broadcasting both Automobilista 2. We'll be doing some stuff with Assetto Corsa. We'll also be having some stuff with Assetto Corsa Competizione. So yeah, hope you enjoy what we do, and please follow, like, subscribe.